Hey, what's up guys? Rocky Nation here, back with another video. And if you want to better yourself in some Call of Duty World War II and ensure yourself a better gunfight between you and your opponent, make sure you drop a like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and continue watching this video. Lego. Now, before you can even step into a game and actually face people on the real world situations, you gotta make sure that your classes and your gun is to your liking. Now, in order to do this, you gotta listen to me carefully. You gotta choose the gun and choose the class setups that best fit you. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you like your gun to be a little slower, a little more steady shot, go for that. Go for a class setup that just works around that type of play style. If you like to be faster, if you like to be quick, you like to keep moving, then set your class setup for that. It just depends on what you like. Now, don't be sitting in a corner thinking that that's a good thing to do. Now, we not camping out here, you feel what I'm saying? Another thing I look for before I even start up a Call of Duty match is how my hands are positioned. Normally when I'm using a sniper, I tend to go with the standard way to hold a controller, how like majority of people play Call of Duty. But when I use an assault rifles or a submachine gun or just anything that's not a sniper, I tend to use the claw method. Now, if you don't know how to use the claw method, is where you take your index finger and instead of using that to shoot, you use that to jump and crouch and melee or whatever you have the X and O button set as. This gives you an advantage because if your opponent takes his thumb off the right analog stick, he no longer can track your movements, and if you're still tracking his by keeping yours on the analog stick, then you already have that little bit advantage that gets you to kill over him. A few other things I wanted to talk about before you even get started with the game is your headset. Like, you need to have not the best headset, but you need to have a headset that can pick up a lot of good sounds. You feel what I'm saying? You need to be able to hear as much as you can when you get into that game because the game makes noise, okay? The game has a lot of noise that can let you know when an enemy is nearby or when an enemy is coming your direction or just when you need to get prepared to have a gunfight. So you need to turn your volume up and listen closely for all those footsteps, all those grenades, flashbangs, just anything that doesn't sound like it's a part of the map. Now, if you actually play Call of Duty off of a TV screen, I would suggest you use a smaller TV screen if you can, or just straight up use a monitor because a monitor allows for a faster reaction time when you're playing Call of Duty. Like, whenever you try to lift your gun up and get the shots on our opponent, he might get the shots off you first if you have a bigger TV. It makes it a slower response time, therefore you can't get your gun up as fast as him. And that just leads to too many problems that you could easily figure out for yourself. The last thing I wanted to talk about before you actually get into a game and start trying to get kills is your internet connection. If you don't have a LAN internet connection, you're already setting yourself back. Now, trust and believe me, there are some high Wi-Fi internet connections, but you're not doing the best you can unless you're on a LAN cable. And if you can't do that, then it's fine. Do the best you can. Don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up about it. At the end of the day, it is just a game, and you shouldn't get that stressed out anyway. Once you've done everything you needed to do before you actually got into the game, now it's time to load up the game and get to practice. Practice is the only thing that'll help you improve, help you get better, and actually learn how to be a successful Call of Duty player. Now, there's different types of practices that you can get into, and I normally like to do two types of practices because I notice I struggle in only two real strong areas. And one, that is accuracy, and two, that is staying on my shot. And the best way to practice getting your accuracy up is doing like how you see in the gameplay. When I practice, I normally put the bots on recruit, I grab a sniper, and I start trying to hit as many people as I can and try to get as much kills as I can before I die, and I feel like that helps me with my accuracy. A sniper is a one-shot kill weapon. You only have one bullet per shot, And if you miss that first time, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna die. And that's why I keep the bot level low. So if I do miss, I actually have a chance to get my shot, and it helps me get my accuracy up. I'm not trying to do the best I can with my kills and my deaths. I'm just trying to make sure I hit these people and actually get a registered kill and not get a hit marker or miss the shot completely. Now, if you want to maintain your shot, what you could do to practice that is to go into a custom lobby and turn the bot health all the way up, so when you go to shoot them, it takes way more bullets than it normally does to kill them. And what that does is, when you go back into a real game and you start shooting and it takes only 4 bullets to kill your opponent, those 4 first bullets that you shoot will most likely be more accurate because you got accustomed to having to sit there and actually shoot the person before they die. A really effective way to get an advantage on your opponent is to simply outsmart them. If you just do something that they're not expecting, or you just go the extra mile to try to get that kill, you might end up getting that kill. It just might put you in a better position to get you that kill, or it could put you in a worse position. It depends on how you use it, and how you use it comes through with practice. So that all kind of fits in the same thing. But it's just like, when you try to outsmart your opponent, they're not gonna expect it. Duh, like it's gonna be something that's off the wall, and it's gonna throw them off, and they're gonna have to rethink what they're doing. And that split second that you threw them off might give you the kill. It might have helped you get that 10 kill streak, or that 15 kill streak, or however many kills you want to get, or just whatever you're trying to do. Like, outsmarting your opponent is really the best way, and I advise you to try that any opportunity you see fit. Like, if you see somebody coming from one direction and they look like they're really focused on that one direction, don't just shoot them up front. How about try to run around them, or try to get behind them in a certain way and then shooting them? Now they have to turn around and actually kill you. Now let's say if they saw you ahead of time and you didn't know that they saw you, if you ran around them, they didn't know where you went at. Now they gotta look for you, and by the time they notice that you're behind them, you done got the shot off on them. It's just a lot of ways you could outthink your enemy. Like, you have to outthink them. There's lots of things you can do to outthink your opponent. It's just whatever fits in the situation and you think you can actually do it, try it. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid that you're gonna get caught. Just go out there, put your effort in, and that's all you can really do. And if you're not getting the results you want in the game by using some of these techniques, like I said, practice is a thing. If you're not practicing enough, that could be a reason why nothing's working the way you want it to. You need to be able to remember how to control yourself, control your thought process, your shot, all these different things. There's so many aspects to this game. You can't just pick up the controller and become the greatest person at it. You got to sit there and keep going in games and keep getting yourself killed and keep losing until you eventually get to where you want to be at. And another thing that could be setting you back is your teammates. Always look at what your teammates are doing. Maybe your teammates aren't performing the way you need them to perform. Like, if you notice you're putting in the hardest work you're ever doing and you look at the score and you're still losing, look at your teammates. Like, look at what they do. If you're in the middle of a team deathmatch, you can't really observe them, but if you notice that a lot of your team is going negative, maybe it's out of your control. Maybe the loss is just out of your control and you can't really do nothing about it. Like, well, you can leave the game, but that does hurt you in a certain way. So it all depends on what you want to do, but just be on the lookout for outsmarting your player. Well, not your player, your opponent, and just being aware of what kind of teammates you have. Like, there's so much to do to better yourself that all you have to do is just practice. That's just all it is. Like, just get out there, realize that you have the potential to do what you gotta do and make it happen. That's all it is. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. You know, I have to come to an end. You know, I done been working on this kind of all day. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope you enjoyed my intro. It was something new. You know, I didn't spend that much time on it, but I spent a little bit of time on it. But just let me know what you think down in the comment section, all that good stuff. Make sure you drop a like, leave a negative or a positive comment again. And last but certainly not least, If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button to keep me posting videos, to keep me knowing that you enjoy the content, and make sure you tune into the next video. But until next time, I'ma see you. Peace.